Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on this platform. It's a privilege to have you here.
Good afternoon to you.
So, you have an elaborate experience in the education industry for more than 30 years now. What are the key factors that keep you connected with the education industry?
I am basically inclined to stay current, up to date, and I love acquiring knowledge. So, the only segment where one gets updated current knowledge, awareness, developments is the area of education segment. So that is how from industry I moved to education segment and went to industry again and came back to education segment.
So, being the executive director of IPSR, what is your philosophy of leadership? How would you describe your leadership style?
My leadership style is leading from the back and not leading by exercising authority, but by exercising friendly influence and making people deliver on their own. Just giving the freedom of operation to the people who are working with me and telling them that these are your goals and now you get going. So normally I will not interfere or I will not indulge in supervising these people till there is a need to do that. By the way, I am trained at Center for Creative Leadership, North Carolina, Greensboro, USA. Now that institution only trains executive directors and above and only in leadership. So for 45 days, I was in a program, 45 working days, I was in a program in Greensboro where I underwent a very intensive training in leadership.
So, what are the challenges you faced as the executive director of IPSR?
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Not on. Yeah, I am through.
Yeah. So, what are the challenges that you faced as the executive director of IPSR?
Look, these days, due to COVID, every day is full of challenges only. You know, traditionally, what was happening, we were providing very intensive training, we were providing classroom training, then live projects, then industry orientation, industrial visits, inviting faculty, and making people sit for long hours and discussing cases and discussing into kind of groups and making assignments, presentations, and all those kind of things. Now, in the last 4 months, the challenges have really multiplied since March because there is no personal direct contact, and through online we are trying to do our best, and we are providing as much as possible, but the challenge is how to make them learn online, how to make them communicate online, and how to make them concentrate for long hours on either a laptop or on a computer, and how to answer their queries, their questions effectively. Because if a trainee is in front of you you can guess on his face the reaction and emotion and all that. So that emotional learning is off. So that's a big challenge. How to keep people engaged for long duration, how to keep people respond to and show whether the learning is registered or not, and how to enable them to shed light on their learning experience and questions very elaborately. That has become a little difficult over this. And the market situation, if you ask me, there is a state of little bit confusion in the market as to how long this COVID pandemic is going to be there, and when will we go back to the normal situation. Sorry, nobody knows about that. Nobody certainly can predict that. So that state of lack of knowledge, awareness, and lack of total control on the situation is creating a lot of hassles in the daily life working.
So the education systems in India and other foreign countries are structured very differently. In your experience, what can an inbound student gain from studying here in your institute?
A student coming to IPSAR gets exposure which is of world-class order, because the leadership itself, all of us in the leadership role are MBAs. Some of us are trained in India and some of us are trained thoroughly in abroad foreign universities, top grade Ivy business schools, and the other one of the world top places we have been educated, trained, and all that. Secondly, the faculty here has been coming with the background of IITs, IIMs, foreign universities, then a blending of theoretical knowledge, degrees, plus practical managerial experience. So, for example, I have worked in India, I have worked in Europe, I have worked in Australia, I have worked in Africa, I have worked in Americas. Similarly, there are other people. Our dean herself, she is a product of London School of Economics. She is a postdoctoral from LSE. Now, to be an alumnus of London School of Economics is not a small thing. I am an alumnus of Asian Productivity Organization, Tokyo, Japan. I was trained 40 years ago there. So we have a lot of people like that. To cut it short, there is a lot of this exposure and blending of industry experience, of educational experience, of Indian educational system, and of foreign leading educational system. So this blended product in the form of a teacher, when goes to the class, also delivers a kind of blended A grade experience of learning. So that is how people get best exposure in reading, learning, acquiring knowledge, and in interaction.
So when you first came to IPSAR, what was your vision for the institute, and has it evolved over time, and how far along in implementing that vision are you?
You see, my vision was to get this average students, extraordinarily intelligent students, they straight away go to IIMs if they are good. Now, there are majority of the students in our education system which it throws up are the average. So the idea is to get an average student into the managerial training and then produce horses, and that is what has evolved over the years. In the last 15 years, those who are alumnus of IPSAR, now they are in pretty senior positions. Many of them are now as assistant VPs, senior managers, general managers, even as directors and all that. So the idea was to make sure that a person who comes from the average score and background excels in life. And there we have succeeded to a very large extent. Very large extent. I make people help in achieving their dreams of getting first-rate employment. Our students are 100% getting employment, and many of them are getting multiple offers, and many of them are working in the A grade Fortune 500 corporation. So that is how my dream was to help these people to rise and grow in their life, and to a very large extent I have succeeded in achieving that.
So, what would you like people to know about your institute that they may not know?
We are an institution which is very, very close to real life situation. Our fee, if you see, we charge very reasonable fee so that middle class can afford. We don't charge fancy fees. We provide all the basic infrastructural facilities which are world class. We send our students for internships which are paid to Europe, to America, to Singapore, and Germany, and other countries where they get an opening and there are paid internships, so that they have experience of cross-cultural education. France also. So that is which we offer to almost every student, and we offer them multiple opportunities to face job interviews so that they can walk into a corporation of their choice. Not that they have faced an interview and got a job and then they are forced out of the placement. So we create a kind of pool of opportunities for them in terms of internships, in terms of teaching in the classroom, in terms of case studies, and in terms of alumnus contact. So all this has paid us in the long run, and we are more or less creating a pool of talent and a pool of managers who are more or less ready to perform from the word go on the job.
So, what are some of the biggest challenges you see both for higher education in general and for IPSAR specifically?
You see, in general, higher education in this country, particularly I will talk with reference to the management education, there has been too much mushrooming of the educational shops which have come up. There are nexuses between the political bosses, the educationists, and the people who are supplying the supply chain for students. So that is bad for the educational system. And the challenge for IPSAR is to get high grade, high quality faculty with integrity, who is interested in honestly transferring the knowledge and the skill to the student body, so that they, because this is the opportunity of lifetime, people will, once they do their MBA, they will never get back to do MBA to a college. This is one lifetime opportunity. So therefore, all of us, I tell the faculty also, we must train our students to learn how to learn, and that is a major challenge.
So how do you tend to establish a relation with the students, being the executive director of IPSAR? How do you make yourself available to them?
Oh, that is very easy. You see, I am very simpleton. My doors are open. No student needs any appointment to meet me. Secondly, when I meet students in the corridor, I simply call them and ask them how are the classes going on, any feedback, any problem. Thirdly, the students are not afraid of me, that I am an executive director, big shot planner and all that. No, they know that I am a teacher by nature, by practice both. So the easiest accessibility of the students here in IPSAR is me. So therefore, all the time, students, they keep on talking to me, giving a call, writing to me, meeting me. Even in the lifts they meet me, on the road they meet me. Many a times when I go, some of them are just walking. I give them lift and drop them at the station also. Because that is my nature. I am very friendly by nature. So therefore, there is no barrier of a kind that I am a senior professor and he is a student. With me, they are friendly. They may be afraid of some faculty, I don't know. But with me, they are quite friendly. And they know that if they communicate to me, action will be taken. So I am basically student support system in this institution.
So any suggestions you would like to give to the current youth and the aspiring youth?
My suggestion for the youth is that they have to look for hard work during these 2 years of their training, no shortcuts, and create a kind of situation where they learn how to learn for the rest of their life. That should be enough. And they should be willing to accept the challenge. They should not shy away from accepting the challenge in life. And plus, integrity is there, honesty is there, hard work is there. Those traditional traits, everybody has it. Those who are coming for management education, they do have all these things. So the only thing is accepting challenge, creating a level of confidence, and trying to serve the people through their actions. Service orientation is important.
So that was a very insightful message, sir. I'm sure the students are going to enjoy this interview and learn a lot out of it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks to you. Thanks to you.